to. The first one is the touristy part of Montmartre. So you probably already know about the Sacré-Cœur. Montmartre is obviously totally fine to visit, especially late at night. There's no one there. Let's start with the first arrondissement. So the first arrondissement is pretty cool. There's so many things there. There's the Louvre, the Tuileries, Palais Royal, Pont des Arts, Place Vendôme. It's like what you think about when you're thinking of visiting Paris. Like almost everything is there. And it has a touristy but is the area just north of Montmartre, about a 10-minute walk away from the Sacré-Cœur, around the La Marque metro station. And this has to be one of the coolest and most underrated neighborhoods to stay in, which is also typically Parisian. First visit, because there's a lot of things to do there, but I don't really recommend it if you want to see the French culture. It's like staying at Disneyland Paris. I have to say that I do have a personal love for the Louvre. It's such a beautiful museum and vineyard nearby, which I personally find really cute. And there's also so many really good food shops and little neighborhood bars. Then number 6 in the list of neighborhoods to avoid, and one of my personal least favorite neighborhoods in Paris, that's a bit controversial, which is kind of a big mall, which has had some kind of revival over the past years, but I still am not a fan, even though I of course go to these two places where I need to buy something. All right, so in terms of ranking, let's take a look at my tier list. So we're gonna go from my absolute in this little corner of Paris are so bad, and they're just really overpriced. What I'm saying is that you'll have a more authentic French experience at the Ratatouille ride at Disney than in this neighborhood. Instead, just take a short walk to this area around the Odéon and Mabillon. This ranking, we're gonna say it with a sassy, disgusted way, like non merci. And there's so many in between, and we're gonna discover them together. But the first is gonna be ranked touristy, and that's like right in the middle, because there's so many places in Paris that are great to visit, but I would never like to live there. And the first is one of them. Come visit, but then just leave and go somewhere more fun and more local. All right, so now let's a bit more upscale. There's a lot of really good Michelin star restaurants in the area, and I like that it's close to everything without the craziness. And number 5 in areas to avoid is the area around the train stations, especially Gare du Nord and Gare de l'Est. And I'm making a big generalization here, but usually these like Passage des Panoramas, Galerie Vivienne, and we also have the Sentier neighborhood, which is kind of a hot spot for tech companies. And I used to work there, and there's so many great lunch spots, some cool after work places as well. And this neighborhood is also very central. So usually when I don't know where to meet with people, I usually meet in Sentier because it's kind of in the middle. It used to be the red light district, but don't let that scare you. This was a long time ago, and even though, you know, there's obvious remnants of this area, now it's just a really cool and trendy neighborhood that has so many different restaurants and bars for every budget. And if you're looking for a good cheap one, I recommend Bouillon Pigalle, which we went to with Bobby in a past video. They have really good my B tier in my tier list. I like these places, but they're not really hidden gems. And for this area, although I wouldn't like to live there, I would totally recommend staying there if you're someone who likes walking everywhere and you want to be in a central location. So now let's move to the recommend is the Café of the Museum of Romantic Life, le Musée de la Vie Romantique. It is indeed very romantic. They have a really cute courtyard with a lot of flowers and nice little tables, and it's really nice to spend the afternoon there. Also, if you stay here, as I was telling you, it's super well connected and you can easily walk on this mall. It's really important to pay attention to the micro neighborhoods you're going to. All right, so in the third, we have the very cute streets of North Marais. We have this very beautiful building called Les Archives Nationales. I seriously go there anytime I need a bit of peace, and you will feel totally fine there. Actually, one of my good friends lived in the area, and I've walked alone at night there many times, and I've felt pretty safe. But if you're not used to big city life, it might feel a bit unsafe to you. So what I recommend instead is that you go a bit more south to the area around the Canal Saint-Martin. This is really where it's very beautiful. There's so many hidden gems. Like one of my favorites is the oldest house of Paris, the house of Nicolas Flamel. And when my friends come to visit, I kind of have an official walk that I take people to. And this walk is very heavy on the 3rd and on the 4th because it's great for locals, but also for visitors. And by the way, you can find this walk and all my local recommendations in my maps. I have a Paris Secrets map with all the hidden gems I like. And then you can buy that at any wine shop near the canal. Then sit by the canal and just have a drink there. It's not only very fun, but it's also legal in France to drink in public. And this area also has the best walks. You can just walk all the way down from the canal to the Seine River, or if you're feeling a bit more adventurous, you could. So busy on weekends. And a lot of the cafes and restaurants that open there quickly make it to the guides. So anything that's a hidden gem will not stay a hidden gem for long there. And this is why I will rank this neighborhood in my B tier, which is nice but a bit overrated. I like hanging out there, but so do thousands of people as well. So right on the south of this neighborhood, we have the fourth, which is where Hôtel de Ville, the City Hall of Paris, and Notre Dame are. It includes the south of the Marais neighborhood, which is very beautiful, and also the islands of Paris, which, you know, you do have to visit them. They're very, very one of the most beautiful train rides of my life there. So you've probably seen this train ride in the Harry Potter movies, but it's actually a bit of a hard trip to plan since there are just so many stops to choose from. With Klook, you can save hours of planning, and you can book this experience and many others directly on their website. At the moment, they are running a special offer, kind of the Parisian dream. You can visit a bunch of things. It's so beautiful. There's many cute little shops, but I have to tell you that it gets boring pretty fast because there are so many 21st of May. Plus, you'll get an additional discount if you book using my promo code. And literally a short walk away from the Canal Saint-Martin is another area I don't recommend you to stay in, which is the Republic area. It's a perfectly fine area. It's really nice. Nothing is wrong with it. An area where locals also live, and it has an issue with over-tourism. So the fourth is going to be rated nice, but a bit overrated. But I have to say that it's definitely touristy in some areas. You can easily have your metro blocked. There's sometimes people being violent and throwing stuff at each other, and I would not recommend staying there if you can. Instead, just go a bit more south, and as you can see, all these areas are very close to each other, so it's really easy to stay in an area that's not right for you. So things to do there is you can go see the Panthéon, you can go to Jardin des Plantes, there's La Sorbonne, which is one of the oldest universities, and there's definitely areas in this arrondissement that are over touristy and that I personally like. Place des Vosges, but the north of this area is really cool because it's actually more local while being super close to the action. It's an area where a lot of people go shopping. I personally really like going to this shoe shop called Bob, another arrondissement, which I'll tell you about in a bit. So this neighborhood, I'm less of a fan. It feels sometimes a bit too touristy or a bit inauthentic, and that's why I'm gonna rank it in my C tier, which is touristy. And here, as we get on the left bank of, there's beautiful old buildings. If you stay there, you have to check out Marché des Enfants Rouges. It's a super cute market that's not a hidden gem, but that I really like. And there's a lot of different food stands, and it has a really cool and lively atmosphere. And I prefer right bank type of person. I love the right bank, but there's also some cool places on the left bank, like the 6th arrondissement. So here, this is a beloved arrondissement, well priced and delicious lunch menus. Also, if you stay in this area, you'll feel like you're in the center of everything. You can, for example, go to Notre Dame in 20 minutes, go to the Canal Saint-Martin in 15, and pretty much walk anywhere you want. In Paris, and you'll miss out on all the really cool There's really long travel times from the outskirts. And if you want to check out a cheaper neighborhood, I recommend you stay in my second favorite area to stay in Paris, which is but also one where many visitors never go to. From an outside perspective,